Hello, everyone. Welcome to CellySZN podcast. I go by the name of Celly. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. I do have a very good guest with me. He runs a channel that goes by the name of Gallop Football. Very interesting take sometimes, but I do like the fact that he is measured. I like to welcome to the stage Arteta's Revenge. Thank you ever so much for
Thanks
sitting
for
down
having me.
with me. Let's just go straight into it. Like,
Okay.
let me get a bit of your history. Like, when did you become an Arsenal fan, and how long have you been an Arsenal fan for?
Okay. Well, I'm glad to be here. It's nice to be on this platform. It's a privilege.
Thank you.
How long have I been an Arsenal fan? Was mainly my dad. I'll be honest with you. My father had an Arsenal obsession. I don't know what it is with him and Arsenal, but when I grew up in the house, I'll tell you, I was very enthused by his fanaticism with the club. I'll tell you that he went as far as buying bed sheets, Arsenal bed sheets, and the bed sheets he had that time had the Arsenal logo on one side and then the flag, the one the supporters wave, right?
Yeah.
Those scarves. The design was on the other side. So he used to force my mom to stay to sleep on the scarf side because he wanted to sleep on the Arsenal badge every night. Yeah, I'm telling you, that is the
That's
that is
funny. That is funny. Oh gosh, don't piss me off. I think we.
2006. He wrote a letter to Arsene Wenger from Nigeria, and Arsene Wenger actually replied. So
Oh
it
wow.
was
So
very random. Yeah,
I
yeah.
did, I did, I did lose you there for a minute. I'm not sure about the
Oh,
connection,
okay.
but you said
My
that
dad wrote
that you
Wenger a
done
letter.
it with a letter to
Yeah,
Arsene Wenger. Oh wow!
yeah. He did.
And Wenger replied. What did he say?
Wenger replied. He greeted him. My father greeted him. Basically, my father just wanted to have. He's like, I like you. I know you. I really want to talk to you. Like, how are you? And Wenger's like, fine. Oh, you're from Nigeria. This is beautiful. But then, of course, it was. I mean, my father and Arsenal. It's mainly
Yeah.
my dad. I would say
No.
my father was the proper Arsenal fan,
Okay.
so he was born into it.
Okay. Well. I mean, that's way more than I have ever experienced as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah,
Getting a letter from Papa Wenger is something else. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So let's talk about this season so far, and what are your thoughts with how Arsenal have started this season? 11 games in. What do you think? What what I'm trying to ask is, what do you think our start has been? Has it been impressive? For your liking, has it been deplorable? Do you want to see more? What would you like to see more? Like, talk to me.
I need more of the anti-football. I need it. I'm sorry. My
you
opinion might
you
be
want
slightly different
Taliban
from a lot of
football?
Arsenal fans. Yes,
You
I
want
do.
Taliban football?
I love it. I love it. I've been begging for this for years. You know, I
Oh
can't really say
wow.
these things on public spaces with Arsenal fans because they might jump me, right? You know how we love our beautiful football. But you see, my
Yeah.
brother Sally, it's been too long, right? This club, we have to have a siege mentality. The league, the PGMOL, and of course, is the officiating body. I'm not here to chastise or bring any sort of conspiratorial point of view here, but we have to have a siege mentality and take this league title ourselves,
Mm.
right? We Nobody's going to give it to us on a plate. So for me, I see people complaining about it, especially the opponents. They make me laugh. Cast your mind back to 3 years ago when we played Brentford, and Bernd Leno was clearly pinned down. Our young players were being hit, battered, bruised, and Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher were on the sidelines telling you how £50 million Ben White was a waste of money. Arsenal are too soft. Arteta is trying to be Pep. I don't know what style of football they play. They're a horrible version of Man City. So honestly, this season, I don't care about impressing anybody. That's the way I see it. Frankly, so for me, the start has been slower because I think some of the attacking players we bought, like Eze and Gyökeres,
Mm.
they still need time. Time today is not something football fans like to. Nobody wants to hear it. But I'll be
Yeah.
frank with you. At 27, when you leave setups that I would describe as agricultural, right?
Right.
People like Eze, and you move into this system where all sorts of things are moving around, and you need to understand positions, where to be. The best example of this is Ricardo Calafiori. He had never played in a system as advanced as ours. People last season were frankly shocked. If you remember the Man City game where he kept losing his bearings every time he was played at left back, all of a sudden, my brother, Calafiori didn't add speed. He didn't become suddenly stronger. He just knows what we do, where to be, and what to do at the right time. And I think Eze and Gyökeres, we need to extend them that grace. So for me, man, we've been measured. We still have a lot of gears to go to, man, especially with Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, and co. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to their return as well because we have missed him, and it's interesting that you mentioned Havertz because when he came on at United, sorry, when he came on at United, and I thought we gained a lot of control back because if you notice in that United game, there was a lot of chaos in the middle when Gyökeres was playing, and it's no fault of him. It's just how it's going to be if you're going to play
Yeah,
on a transition, because that's how he is. He's a transitional type of striker, and he benefits a team that hits you on the transition really quickly. So when Havertz came back, I'm not sure how many people noticed it, but there was a lot of calm. There was a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
security. Like
yeah,
he just came on, and we regained position of the ball, and that's
yeah.
why we got the 3 points. So I'm looking forward to having that option again. But you see our start being 1-0 United, 5-0 Leeds. Then we lost to Liverpool, and then 3-0 Forest. Then we hearing Arteta out, Arteta out, Arteta out. Do you think that he should be sacked? Do you think?
Nah, it's not possible. I mean, if you, it's hardly fair to ask somebody call Arteta's revenge on Twitter. Obviously, you know where I stand. Me, I'm biased. I can't even pretend that I'm going to be very objective on this discussion. But you see, Sally, Arteta this season, when I talked about siege mentality and not impressing people, he could do well to adopt that too. I frankly have to kind of close my ears a little bit to what the fan base says. It's not that I don't love our fellow fans, but I feel that when you go to war, sometimes the tactics you use should not be televised on TV. And it's unfortunate that professional football is televised. So to the people who have the misfortune of watching us every week, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to stop. This has to continue.
You're funny. But I'll play devil's advocate for a minute. I mean, I will put my bias out there. I am Arteta in, but I do really believe that if we slip to that third and fourth, then we are in
Yeah,
trouble. Because
100%.
the way that we are playing, I'd rather have us try to get the first place because
Yeah,
in my opinion, nothing is ever promised in life. No success is not promised.
that's right.
$1 million, pounds, however much you would earn from a successful business, that's never ever promised. So you got to at least try to hit the benchmark of, okay, we must finish second or above. I don't,
That's right.
for clarity, I don't actually believe he's telling the players, let's hit second place. And if we get first place, well done, but let's hit second. I don't think he's saying the players that. I really
Yeah,
believe that everyone is going out there to try and win the
and
whole thing.
win. Yeah,
But in terms of what everyone is trying to say, like, I believe that they're coming from the sense that we haven't won a trophy since 2020. Even
yeah,
with the Premier League, we haven't won since 2004, and we haven't won the European leagues early any later. So now that he's built us to this particular point,
yeah.
sack him and get someone else in. Like, what do you think of that? Do you
It's
think
not
that
a good
actually has
approach.
merit?
The problem is people don't. Sometimes when you look at trends, right? Permit me to use the example of like it's like financial markets, right? Sometimes everybody tell you the market is crashing. Oh my goodness, everything is bleeding in the short term. But when you zoom out and you look at exactly where we are, then you wonder and you say, the noise begins to now, not to completely liken them to each other, but I would say this the reason I love Arteta, right? And the reason I have a lot of respect for him. First of all, it's just my own thing. I appreciate people who put themselves in the line of fire, even though they don't have the experience to do something, because people who talk a whole lot about solutions are very different from people who actually act. Arteta is in the arena. He threw himself in. Fabregas gets the benefit of managing Como first. There's no pressure. Oh, when you beat Juventus, it's like, oh, well done. Even Jabi Alonso, who I love very well, Alonso was at Real Sociedad B, right?
That's true. That's true.
This guy gets thrown into hell. And another thing with him is people can say what they want, but Arteta fails upwards. And I'll explain what I mean. 8th, 5th, second, second, second. In the Champions League, you group stage, quarterfinals, semi-finals. To an extent, you need to be very careful the way you tinker things. And that's where I hear the crowd who say, oh, throw out. It looks simple because the platform has been built. But we should be very careful about pulling pieces together. My thing is, give Arteta this season. And I like this team. I like the way this team is looking. I think they have enough battle scars, including the manager. We play football like we're preparing for the next game. And I love it. So for me, frankly, I hear the calls, but it's not something I'm going to do. If I was sporting director today, will I fire Arteta this season with these results? No.
No. Okay, so I will add to your point because there is something that I noticed in the Fulham game. I think when the penalty was not given and there was a whole discussion about Vieira, even he was animated, but the minute it wasn't given, he turned around to the players and was like, head on, like switch on immediately, like all of those things. Like, and I'd love to see that because it just gives you the idea that everyone's concentration levels are just up every season. It's like it's just naturally going up. But just to kind of again throw the dent at it here, we have spent a lot of money in the summer, like 100 and I believe how much was it? 197 million that we spent in the summer to sign Gyökeres, Eze, all of those players. Something that we have never seen. I have never seen in my lifetime as an Arsenal fan. Like, I mean, people probably back in the day, back in '99, probably thought 16 mil for Henry was
a lot of money.
Was a lot of, So, but now we are spending this much. Do you think that at this point, like him spending all that money without having any trophies to show for it since 2000, and if he doesn't deliver this season, do you think that that's literally the end, that there should be a severance after that?
It could be the end. And personally, I wouldn't, but it could be the end. It depends heavily on the context of how the season goes. Because Arteta for me should be mature enough and not naive enough to capitulate. Right? That could be a problem. Like certain things could happen. We could make the Champions League final and maybe get robbed in the final or lose a goal. Like, seasons have their own twists and turns. But if Arteta doesn't deliver a major trophy this season, let me be real with you. It could be peak for him. I would not stand in the way of anybody who might be saying, hey, maybe it's time to go because you don't win, right? Sometimes I've given him enough grace. He's gotten enough grace from almost everybody. But maybe just maybe it's the right time to win a trophy, man. I saw a stat that made me maybe very, very sad. You've seen that in the last 3 to 4 years, nobody has accrued more points in the Premier League than us, right? And Man City. And we're the only team who has picked up so many points, so many clean sheets, so many wins without a major trophy. Arteta is kind of unlucky too. But hopefully this is the season where we turn that luck and bring it, to our own favor. And,
So now that you have mentioned the trophies, do you think that because I've heard a lot of fans say this, have the same sentiment. They say that he needs to win the Prem or the UCL. Nothing else matters. Do you think that we should be selective with the trophies that we win this season? So if he does, let's say, for example, he gets the FA Cup only, or he only gets the League Cup, and then he finishes second again, maybe finishes second again, or finishes in the, as you put it, in the UCL final, and that's literally it. So if he has that and only wins the FA or the League Cup, or both, do you think that that's a good season?
Both could be good. But both could be good if that's the season. It's not my ideal season, but if it's both, FA Cup and League Cup, because League Cup is where we have, what, 6 games left? Sally, we can win 6 games. Arsenal are good enough to beat anybody. The problem we've had, right, in the league, in the cup games has been, see, I know it sounds like I'm speaking to the ether and appealing to something that is not realistic, but I'll be very honest with you, even though you're the most biased anti-Arteta fan, the last 2 seasons, especially in the FA Cup and League Cup, we have put out strong teams, like that game where we wore white against Liverpool. My brother, we were so unlucky. It's almost painful to see the kind of strength Arsenal came with. But it's fine. But anyway, for me, Arteta major trophy. I won a Premier League or Champions League, Sally. Part of the reason Arteta belongs in that class of manager for me, and he's not going to get the respect he deserves until he puts one of those on the table. And this club needs one. So for me, yeah, I want a major trophy, Sally. I think we have what it takes to do it. 100%.
All right. Well, I am gonna I am gonna show my bias here. I personally think you give him one more season after this, even if he doesn't win anything. But this is just me though. Like, it's actually nice to see someone that actually does respect and like Arteta and believe this is make or break. But for me personally, in terms of signing all the players that he has, especially going for depth, I do believe yes, he is trying to get it over the line. But I think if he doesn't do it this season, then he must. He actually is a must next season because at least I can excuse him and say, okay, they need to gel. They might need to. They're all not gonna get a time the ground running. I always look at Liverpool, for example, and it's probably not the best example because there's a lot of context to the example I'm giving because I personally believe Liverpool had a season akin to Leicester in 2015.
Yeah.
Like it was night and day. Man City were off form again, like Leicester back in 2015. The big teams like United was not even in it at all. Everyone was gone. So it was just literally their title to lose. The Arsenal was it at the races, same thing as 2015. So what Slot done was add to that, and there is no way that he can sign that many players and have that much money to throw at them, and then he doesn't repeat it, and then he gets sacked for it. I just don't see it. I see it as he signs them. The club would understand that okay, they need a bit of time, and I do believe that Arteta will be afforded the same thing. But I really do think that if he is afforded that time, they will put the pressure on him to say, okay, next season you have to deliver. That's where I'm coming from. I actually do believe that this season is also make or break for him. I do feel that pressure, but I really think 2 more seasons and that's it. And that's it. But based on what I'm seeing with my own eyes, like we can see it. I just don't see him not delivering. I mean, the way that we approach Anfield, and we will talk about that because I want to talk about Anfield for a second.
I want to because I have a very interesting view on that game.
For me personally, I was really encouraged. I have never seen like people and I'm surprised that many people look at this game and we're like, we should have gone out or try attacking. We should have done this, and I'm like, but we did. We actually did. We set up to play exactly like Klopp did in 2017 when he had Mane and Salah. You know, when he had all his players like, and he had Wijnaldum and Henderson in the midfield. Like,
you know, Celly, I've told you, yeah. That is part of why you see me on Twitter before. I was with a guy called Mo Arsenal. And we used to always fight people on spaces, you know. Some of my best friends today, we started off as enemies on the app, you know, fighting Arteta in, Arteta out, shake it about. All the camps come out and we, you know. But there's something I realized about this football game, this game called football. I remember when Antonio Conte was here in 2022 at Spurs, I believe it was 2022 when we played them, and Arteta beat the hell out of him at the Emirates. And Conte took out his attacking players and put in 3 defenders. And not one single tweet on Twitter, right? The thing is this, Luis Enrique won the Champions League with Ousmane Dembele pressing and a flat midfield the Portuguese kid, I keep forgetting his name, João.
Juan
It's João,
Neves. Juan
João
Neves. Yeah.
Neves, right? João Neves,
Yeah.
João Neves, Vitinha, and Fabian Ruiz, right?
Right.
There
Right.
isn't
Right. Right.
anybody in that midfield that you will describe as an attacking midfielder who is nimble. The most nimble person is the deepest.
Yeah.
That is Vitinha
Yeah.
at the six,
Yeah.
right? We've seen Klopp do a flat midfield too. This is
Right.
not new in football. Even Pep Guardiola, without Kevin De Bruyne, has played games like this at Man
No,
City.
I mean, even with Kevin De Bruyne, like
Even with De Bruyne.
I've seen De Bruyne actually play like just hover around, not even around the box. Like
Yes.
he would only come up to provide a cross after Bernardo has fed it
Yes.
to him, and he provide a cross from the. So I know exactly what you're talking about, but like,
So
and sorry, continue on.
Spain do it too. Mikel
Yeah,
Merino, that we all Spain do it to De La Fuente, the Spanish manager, does this. But this is the thing with Arsenal, and that's why I feel a lot of our fans they don't understand the media, maybe the way some of us pro Arteta guys do. You know why? Because when people start talking, I know where they are coming from. I know the agenda that they are trying to cook. Trust me, it always starts with a small comment, and then the comment becomes repeated and repeated and repeated, and then it becomes this big lie that is believed. Gabriel Magalhaes is the best example. We bought him, we stole him from Manchester United. He had a few moments, but in the same time, he scored headers in the Europa League. You saw his performance against United, even at Old Trafford. Somebody decided to cook up an agenda like, whoa, this guy is really good. Manchester United didn't get him. Let's call him a bozo. Let's make sure. And Arsenal fans believed it.
I actually remember this moment vividly because I think it was when he scored an own goal. I can't remember the game, but I believe he made that mistake, and
Yeah,
a lot of our fans were like, "We need to sell him. We need to
I don't
sell
like
this
that.
guy."
I don't
And
like that.
oh, for some reason you're gone. Hold on, just having a little bit of technicals. He's
No,
coming
I'm
back now.
here.
So,
I'm here. I'm with you.
um, okay, a lot of our fans,
Yeah.
like I was saying, sorry about the technicals. A lot of
Yeah.
our fans were basically saying that we're basically saying back in 2021 when he was making his mistakes, trying to transition into a team, etc., that we should sell him, that he's not a great defender. I remember the same conversations with Ben White, and a lot of these players have grown so much to a level that I am actually like the one thing in my opinion, and I don't want this to become an Arteta glaze stream, but I have to I have to praise him for how he transformed the defense. He saw a
100%.
problem and he's like, I'm gonna be. This is where I need to start. I forget everywhere else. I'm gonna focus on just this area. He fixed the defense and was like, all right, I'm gonna focus on the midfield. He fixed the midfield, and now he's like, okay, let's look at the
Yeah.
strike force. And
Yeah.
this is, and for me, when I look at these changes over time, if you miss that context, you will sound extremely, and pardon, I don't mean this in any offensive way. You will sound very stupid when you try to have any contrary takes. Like I saw a take from someone saying that we shithouse ourselves to that Fulham win. Like we can't sustain this. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
we were playing for a win and depending on set pieces. And I was like, hold on a second. Let's go back to the Invincible season when we literally watched Wenger draw 1-1 with Charlton away at Charlton. Like
It's terrible.
it was a Henry free kick. So
Henry.
yeah. So what
People
are
people
we?
talk like set pieces are not part of football. All of a sudden, everybody hates corner kicks. Why? Corners are part of the game. You can
Right.
win corners too. We have the same 24 hours in the day. Why don't you train for corner kicks too? But because Arsenal are so good at it, and frankly, the corner thing, my brother and I always make jokes about it. We're so good, it's scary. I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
seen these kind of numbers in football
Ah,
before, right? Brother, Gabriel, look at Trossard's last goal. You want to mark Gabriel most times. If they put Merino in the box, people forget Havertz is there, right? Havertz is 6'4". Saliba is about 6'4" and a half. He's almost 6'5", right? Gabriel is like 6'2". Calafiori is 6'2". Timber is the shortest one, but he still scores corner kicks, right? The whip Declan Rice puts on it. And if you remember, Rice used to be in the box when we started taking corners. But because his delivery is so good, we don't even play with him in the box. So yeah, the corner thing, I'm frankly, I'm loving it.
I
I'm a big fan of it. I like it.
I will have to ask though, like, do you think, because I have heard this discourse a lot, and I do want to get your opinion on it. Do you think that Arsenal as a team, the structure that we have, the way that we play, do you think that it really lacks creativity?
Yes, it does. And I think we solved it. Yes, 100%. It was one of my biggest complaints last season that
Mm.
the way we want to play, okay, so if you just permit me to be a little bit boring right here, but I'll be really quick. Try to make it a little bit tactical. The football has changed. Most teams, the way teams are compact in the middle, right, and close off transitions, I don't think I've seen anything like this. If you look back at some of our invincible clips, look at the amount of space Therion we used
Yeah,
to
that's
get
true.
behind. You would you
Yeah,
almost wonder,
only the small teams really.
brother.
Yeah, yeah. I remember Bolton. I remember Bolton. I remember.
Yeah, you're not going to see that. If people talk about Jokeres could probably do that any day of the week. But if it was in 2004, 2005, but the game has changed. Attacking midfielders, and this was the real clue when the 10 started to die, because most people had a creative guy in the middle, but teams realize it's useless putting this guy here. Why don't our wide players, the wingers, be the creative outlets? Because they are the ones with the most space. The central parts of the pitch are always congested, or if you receive there, someone comes in quickly to close the space off. And that's why you have the rise of wide playmakers in today's game. That's why Yamal, Kivicha, Desiree Doué, Bukayo Saka, most wingers have a creative bag. But for Arsenal, we have a problem on the left side, right? Trossard could do it, but his legs are spent. He's a brilliant player, but Trossard is not.
He's a brilliant. I personally love
Yes,
him. He's a brilliant
I
finisher.
love
Like,
him.
I
I
love his
love him.
finishing. His
Yeah,
finishing, and I know that people are gonna come at me for this, but his finishing is akin to that of Alexis Sanchez. I'm sorry. I'm
hundred
sorry.
percent, 100%,
I have not seen anyone convert as efficient
100%.
as
As he
since
does.
yeah
I've
since
seen him do
2010.
things. I've seen him do
Sorry,
things
continue.
Aguero used to do. I've seen him do things Aguero used to do. When I tried to become a professional footballer at 17, one of the things my coaches used to tell me was, "Jeff, do you know who a dangerous striker is?" I said, "No, I don't. How do I explain this?" He said, "When you play the ball into him in the box and he shapes up to shoot, and he knows that there is no space to shoot, he waits for the defender to stretch his leg out to block the shot and plays it through the defender's legs in the tight space." That's a killer. That's someone that is Messi, Aguero, Haaland, Trossard level finishing. Even the goal Trossard scored in the Champions League. You see what I described to you?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly what he did.
He
That's
done
a
against
killer.
he done it against Liverpool as well. But yeah,
100%.
speaking about the
So
Champions
on
League.
that point,
Oh, sorry,
yeah,
sorry, sorry. No,
Champions
no,
League.
no. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, sorry, continue.
So just to wrap that wide playmaker thing up, we needed someone on the left who could be more creative because Martinelli has his own strengths. Thank God he's back to himself again this season.
Oh yeah.
Brilliant player. We need him. But the last 2 seasons, if we're being honest, you can't get away with those kind of performances at a top six club. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think we've solved that problem now on the left side for creativity. We'll be more balanced. I'm still waiting for Eze, Gyökeres, and Saka to play full games, and it will come. It will come, man. It will come.
Yeah, like yeah, that I mean, I personally think that Eze and Madueke are our left-sided options. I do think that we are going to see, and he's gone for a bit. So I'm going to continue talking while we try to resolve this issue. But I just want to say that in terms of the performances that we have put together this particular season, it's important to see the tactical variations that has been that we have, the tactical options with the players that we have signed, so that we can get the 3 points. I don't think that we have played boring football whatsoever. I personally think that the football that we've played has not only been highly efficient, but we are creating a lot more. In fact, in the Arsenal and Fulham game, in the Fulham game that we just finished, away game, we used to see a trend in which we couldn't even create an effective chance. I think we had a 1.87 xg, and I know that people don't believe in xg. I get it, but the quality of chances that we are creating, especially against the not according to little teams, but the bogey teams of old, the quality of chances that we are creating against them, like we had 16 shots at Fulham. We had we
Crazy.
had I mean 16 shots in total. How many were three big chances created, and we had all of that happening at Fulham. So when I look at that, I'm very encouraged for the season going on. Now, uh while we still wait for Arteta's revenge to come back, because he's having internet problems. I just want to talk about the Champions League for a minute, because do we have a realistic chance to win it? I think based on what we have produced so far, like looking at Atletico, sorry, not looking at Athletic Bilbao. He is back now. So
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about the Champions League and our
Yeah.
chances of possibly winning or even reaching the final of the Champions League. So we have played Atletico, not Atletico. I'll make the same mistake
Athletic
again.
Bilbao.
Athletic Bilbao, and
Bilbao.
we played Olympiacos. Both two go like identical games, really.
Yes.
But I would say we created a lot more chances against Olympiacos, and we were just simply woeful. Um, so to go to your point, I do agree with you that we have solved our creativity issue, because the chances that we are creating, I've never seen us create so many quality chances. Like
So many
it's
years.
not even a half baked chance, like, oh, it's just a scrappy chance that someone can shoot. It's actually right in front of the keeper, one on one, and we've done
Yes.
that so much. But we have been so wasteful going forward. So wasteful against Olympiacos, for example. Does that scare you? Because I'm a bit worried there.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Because one of the reasons we brought in a striker was to solve that issue. Um, I've, it scares me a little, but I have a lot of faith in Gyökeres.
Yeah.
He'll come good. He,
No, I love the way he plays. I mean,
yeah,
I've never seen so many. I saw it in the Fulham game, so it's not much to go on. But I've seen the same thing at the Bilbao game, and also the same thing at the Olympiacos game. The DM
yeah.
that they deploy and the centre backs, they're all encroaching on him, and I'm like,
On
wait a
him.
second. I'm like,
You see,
you guys are not worried about Saka anymore.
yeah,
Like that
yeah.
guy, and you can
They
see
can.
how you can see how much joy like Saka had playing yesterday, even like just use that as a reference point. But what do you think of our chances? Like, do you think that we can actually go and win it?
Yeah, 100%. I see no reason why not. I feel like we've one thing. The reason I say so is because we've learned how to play football in different ways, and that's what I've been begging for from Arsenal. We can be pretty, we can be ugly. Like if you play Barcelona, right? One of my criticisms of us before, and I don't mean to. Please, people shouldn't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing Wenger. I'm just saying we could have been smarter. You can't have this principle, right?
We
You
like
cannot out Pep. You get me? Like I'll say again, just so it's clear. You cannot out Pep. You cannot play tiki taka and break Pep at tiki taka because Pep is tiki taka. So it's like it's like going to Max Allegri and trying to be a terrorist, right? This is his profession. So you a good
Kojima.
team, a good team, right, has a nice balance. I feel Arsenal can play very ugly. Arsenal could draw Barcelona, and Yamal wants to do all that, and Arteta is like, you know what? yeah, I'll only give you guys 20 minutes of action. Havertz, Trossard, you know what to do. But today, I'm locking shop, right? We can play pretty. We played Real Madrid. You saw us at the Emirates. Brilliant. Incredible. We attacked them. We went at them. So, bro, because of
He
that
knows.
bag, because of what Arsenal have, and that defense wins you titles. And I know this defense is going to get one soon. They
Look,
will.
look, listen, you don't have to tell me twice. I have seen Wenger have a 4-goal lead against Newcastle and then lose
Hmm.
that
Come on.
4-goal lead. I don't know anyone that can go through that and think, oh, I didn't think that Wenger should tighten up shop. I was actually quite
Yeah.
happy that he went attacking them even at 4 goals up. Come on. Like, come on. Let's be
See,
real. Let's
I
be
like,
real.
but I like that. I like that. I feel like that's why George Graham likes Arteta. Because if you hear a lot of the stuff George Graham says about Arteta, I feel like us as Arsenal fans, we're going through a transition where we have to kind of get used to football. You know, the league is changing. If you notice, the new rule that has been given to goalkeepers is
Yeah.
just so the ball gets hoofed in the air more and the game becomes more end to end. You're seeing that long throws are now back in fashion, something we used to criticize Stoke City and the lap for. You're now seeing that everybody is now getting a set piece coach and wants to rival Arsenal. All of a sudden, the fundamentals of the game are now being emphasized.
By the
So,
way, by the way,
yeah,
quick fact. It wasn't
yeah,
Ateta. It wasn't Ateta or Brentford to first hire a set piece
set piece
coach.
coach.
It was
Yes,
actually Jurgen Klopp. Just putting it out
Jurgen
there.
Klopp.
Just
Yeah,
putting it out there.
yeah,
Since everyone seems to forget that he hired a long
100%.
throw specialist and a set piece. So anyway, but
Yes. And
to
Liverpool
go
were so good at it. Van
yeah,
Dijk, remember Van Dijk on the corner every single time. And
I
Van Dijk still
remember.
retains some of those traits. So
I
the league
remember.
is changing. The game is changing. The game is becoming more, things work in cycles. I believe in cycles. I think things peak, they trough. And
Okay,
that's the way life works.
okay, but what about Bayern Munich? I mean, have you seen them play? The way that Vincent Company, in all fairness, if Ateta ever goes, I want that man to come in and take over because
Company, yeah?
I like
Mm.
the way that he is set up with Bayern Munich. I didn't think he would stay at the job after not winning the league in his first season, knowing how Bayern are, but he has stayed and he looks like a real force. Like,
Yeah.
how do you think he is gonna
I would
like
really love Arteta to
he
play him. I would
he's
really
not
love a
gonna
game
fall
against
over.
Bayern.
He's not gonna fall over though. He's not,
Yeah, but no, for sure. But that's a proper Champions League match. I would love a game against Bayern because of one, our history with them. Arteta's little taste of the history he got. Because the last time we played Bayern, when they beat us at the Allianz Arena,
yeah, well, he
they
was in.
understood that.
Mm.
Yeah, they understood that
Oh,
Saliba was the main person who could control the ball. Bayern pressed from the left-hand side, and they allowed Martinelli space to receive the ball 1v1 because they knew that he doesn't have the technicality to come inside. And this cycle kept repeating and repeating. And Bayern tactically, they were like, we've solved Arsenal, we've cracked the code. These guys, they're not going to do anything if we do the game this way. Bayern also, Arteta was on the receiving end of a lot of horrible defeats from Bayern Munich. Arsenal Bayern Munich will be the toughest game.
no,
I think you're right. It'll
I,
be really, really tough, really interesting.
I will want to go back to that Bayern Munich game that you just referenced because we only did lose 2-1, I believe. It was just 2-1.
Yes.
But this was the first time I've seen Tuchel. I believe, was it Tuchel in charge at the time?
Yeah.
Um,
I think so. I think
yeah,
so. I think it was Thomas Tuchel. Yeah, it
either
was
him
Tuchel.
off. I don't know why I'm confusing it with Nagelsmann, but nonetheless, at the time, like yeah, he was too cool. He was too cool because he got
It was
sacked
Tuchel.
in the yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so nonetheless, like that's the first time I've seen because I saw the way that he set up and then he threw it out the window. He completely threw it out the window. He
Yes.
completely like the way that we started and the way that Saka was getting a lot of chances. You can tell that he didn't actually plan for that. You can
Yes.
because we used a lot of was it Ben White playing that game? He was
Ben
over
White.
yeah he was overlapping a lot and he just caused them a lot of trouble. But nonetheless, I do think that they are the team in my eyes to watch because I look at the other composition. I look at PSG. I'm not even worried about them. I think that they're not that tough. Like
They're not that tough.
people will disagree, but believe me, we could have won that. We could have won that if not for
Yeah.
Donnarumma, but I'm digressing. I don't find PSG to be the threat. I think it's Bayern Munich. And but yeah, who do you think is gonna be a threat? We'll just close up on that. Who do you think is the Champions League threat?
Bayern Munich are a threat. I would not like to play Real Madrid again. Not because we can't beat them, but because that club, they run off a lot of emotion and steam, and when they meet Arsenal again, we really embarrass them. We embarrass them thoroughly. So there'll be a lot of revenge. I would like to say this. I would like to play Barcelona. I feel like an afternoon or evening display of Arteta ball against Barca will shake the entire footballing cosmos. I don't think people will recover from that game. So Barca interests me. They do. And also Arteta has the Barcelona thing too, where he wants to show up. He wants to prove that, okay, I'm on your level. This is my home. This is my hometown. And I want to show them. The Catalan thing is always there. So I like that. Zubimendi, Merino, very good plot. But toughest teams, I would say, Bayern Munich are tough. I don't want to play Real Madrid again. I don't want to meet them again. I'm hoping for the likes of Dortmund, Olympiacos. Those are the kind of teams I want to play on my way to the final as easy as possible. I also play Man City. Bring on Man City. I don't care.
So are you ready? Are you ready to see the fight between the IDF and ISIS that's gonna happen on Tuesday?
Brother, that game. My
legit.
UEFA know what they were doing when they scripted that game. That game.
That is gonna have the most eyes. I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna have the most eyes watching.
You know where I'm going to watch Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid? I'm not watching it on Super Sport or any other football channel. My live stream will be from Al Jazeera. I will watch the game from Al Jazeera because that is not a football match, man. I can't lie to you. I'm excited. We will see.
Same.
This is a proper matchup. 30 game. I see the tactics coming out. I know Atletico Madrid, a lot of diving, fouling, kicking. Saka is going to be, Gyökeres himself will be a target. Julian Alvarez, Declan Rice in the midfield. Proper game. I love this. For some reason, I'm excited.
I am excited too. I'm excited too because I won't be surprised if they're set up in a 5-4-1 formation with two centre backs, with the two wing backs holding on to Saka, like the centre back and the wing back, all on Saka, the wing back and the other centre back, the left centre back. All on Madueke and the main centre back and the main centre back and the DM all on Gyökeres. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if that's the case.
You're even too lenient to them. Somebody said he might not even watch the game because both teams might just sit in a low block and keep the ball in the middle of the pitch. Wait till 90 minutes is over and then we call it a day. Simeone versus Arteta. I'm looking forward to it. This will be a proper matchup. Atletico look good. They have their tactics. They play like us. There's something similar with them and us, right? Trossard and Havertz are very, very Simeone players. Atletico Madrid, they always attacking is like, you can tell, like it's like the last fundamental for them. They will always find a way. You know that thing that's like, we'll figure it out. Griezmann will find a way. You know, they've got ways to score goals. We have to. Really interesting. I'm fascinated by this too, which is something I'm watching. I want to see how well they handle our set pieces.
Yeah.
That could be. That's one thing I'm like, because I know their team, I know their average height, I know what we can do in the air. Let's see what happens.
This has been such a great conversation. I'm gonna have to get you back on here once again to discuss the matches or what has been happening throughout the season. But yeah, thank you so much, Arteta Revenge, everyone. Go follow.
Thanks for having me.
Go follow him on Twitter. Like great tweets. He just reminds you this is the fact. This is everything. And I must remind you guys as well. We have scored 21 goals. 3 goals conceded in 11 matches.
11 games.
Just don't forget that. Don't forget that. 3 goals conceded. I don't think we're gonna concede any more goals. I think I think we are on our way to
I want to break Chelsea's
to
record.
break Chelsea.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. That's what I'm aiming for. That's what I want.
I want it as
It would
well.
be so perfect to lift the Premier League with that Mourinho's record in our hand like this. We will rattle the entire universe. I'm here for it.
With one game, with only one loss of the season. That's my prediction anyway. That's my prediction.
Beautiful.
Anyway.
David Raya thinks so too. Good luck, man. This has been beautiful. I'll try to stay out of trouble. But see you guys at the trophy parade. We'll be there with Raya with his third golden goal.
Anyway, thank you so much for your time. I'll see you on the next one.
Anytime.
Right.
Thank you very much.